Hello, strong people. Week nothing of nothing. It's 2 days after the All American Pro Am, and it was a great show. I did better. I'll just say that it was very tough to kind of guess where things would fall. Uh, it's anything can happen when you're at a competition where everybody is good at something. Um, like everybody at this show had that event where they're pretty dang good at. Some better than others, of course. That's just how it goes. But um, it was so close the whole day, sort of. But I'll get into that. So, but just not that way I'm not like waiting, dragging it out. I took third place, so barely, um, barely. I mean, up and down. I was 1 point behind second, 1 point ahead of fourth, but second through I think sixth place were all 1 point differences, and then I think six and seven were half a point. So crazy close show. Um, Event by event, event one was max log. So I opened at 370. Well, let me just start out by saying this. This show was very well ran. There were some dropouts, which is what you'll have. That's just part of the show. But having a pro-am at a fair like this as like entertainment at a fair is incredible. So if you're not aware, this was at the Hookstown Fair in Hookstown, PA. Before we even started the show, there were like 200 plus people in there. There's like 300 chairs set up underneath this big pavilion, and they were almost all full. Plus, there was people standing. I mean, there was a ton of people there. It was crazy. So big props to Josh at 580 Barbell for having putting us there, getting the opportunity and kind of executing it pretty much flawlessly. For a pro-am, it was great. We had a real audience, a real crowd. That's huge. But event by event, log press first, max log. I knew that I'd have to push here. At every event. I don't know why I even said that. I got to push on every event at this show. But I had to at least make the top guy work. Joel, an absolute monster when it comes to overhead press. A monster other things too, but overhead press, big time. So he was good for probably 430, 440 at least. I remember him talking about bumping it up to try to hit a PR or something, but ended up working out that I hit 370 as my opener. To stay ahead of the other guys and push Joel a little bit more, I went for 400 on my second attempt. Dipped and drove. Missed it the first time. Brought it back to my chest, kind of recentered. Fixed my foot a little bit. Stance is a little bit too wide. And then I pressed it the second time. So 400 competition PR. I can officially say that I have pressed 400 pounds in competition. Joel then hit, 410? Yeah, I think Joel hit 410 on his second. And then I didn't think I had 420 in the tank. So I played it a little bit smart here. I went for 410 on my third, but so did two other guys. So my thing was, it's either I don't think I could have got 420. So I was like, all right, let's just try to tie for second place. Three of us at 410. It is what it is. Get the points. Rather than miss 420, get 400 and be stuck in like fourth place. So lucky for me, two guys missed 410. So at that point, I had already locked up second place. I didn't have to try 410, but I wanted to just because if I got that, then Joel would have to push for another attempt. He'd have to at least hit 420 to win. So, So I tried it. It felt great. It felt the best out of any of the other ones. It felt the best out of the 370 and the 400. But I threw it a little bit back over my head. I lost balance, and I couldn't press it out because I was going to fall. I had to ditch it. So 410 would have been cool, but I only I ended up with second on that event. Joel won with 410, but he had way more in the tank, way more. He was good for whatever he needed to win that day. So start off good placing, 400, second place. And event 2, car deadlift. I really was not sure about this one. I ended up now this I had to empty the tank a little bit on this one. I saw a couple guys go. I saw 10. I saw 12. I was like, all right, that's probably the sweet spot. The guy who got 12, I was like, he's a very good deadlifter, so I got to be close to that. Some people went. I saw a couple more ties at 10. So in my head, I was like, I have to get at least 11. So I did. I took a little break at 8, and then I fought hard for those last 3 reps. I did get to 11. That was huge because if I would have got 10, that would have been a 4-way tie there. And that would have been a big problem for me. So I ended up with 4th on deadlift. One guy got 12. Another guy got 13, Joel. And he stopped here, which might have been a mistake. I'll explain why, but Joe, the guy who ended up winning the show, he just smoked it. 17 reps or something crazy. I honestly don't even understand how he did that. No, I don't get it. He is a good deadlifter, but I did not expect him to just make it look that easy, that much easier than some other good deadlifters made it look. But he got 17, Joel got 13 for second, and I think that's where Joel kind of messed up. Because he may not have been aware, but like he said he wasn't very good at front carries. So it seems weird to not push for that one extra point whenever you have an event you know you're not that great at coming up next. But that's a lot of extra energy for just one more point. So I get it, give and take in those events. Obviously, you don't know that coming in to that event. You're like, maybe I won't need this 1 point, but that 1 point could be the difference in everything, which it ended up being for a lot of us. So 4th place on deadlift, I believe. So I got a 2nd and a 4th so far. 3rd event, max distance sandbag carry. This was much more challenging than I originally thought it was going to be. The way we did it was, and I'll put the videos up on this. We did it in like a square. Like America's Strongest Man has this. I forget why they do it this way, but they do. Oh, it's kind of like the Husafell, the actual Husafell. Like there, you have to walk in a circle. Here, we on stage we had like 4 corners set up, and we'd walk around those. So some guys went. There's some good distances, but I was like, oh, I'm prepared for a lot more than that. I ended up getting up there doing it, but adding those turns in and also emptying the tank pretty hard on deadlift before, I just didn't have much in me. At least as much as I thought I would have. I also stumbled like twice. I kind of dropped with like 10 seconds left. I don't think that would have made the difference when it comes to... I don't know how close I was to another point, but it doesn't matter now. But that event was pretty cool. I don't mind front carries, at least like that. I kind of like them. A Conan's wheel, probably not, but like a Husafell or a sandbag, I'm cool with those. So I think I'm in 2nd place still at this point. And this is kind of where things went downhill for me a little bit. Well, sort of. We had sandbag toss up next. I went to do my first warm up. And when I did, my right calf cramped up really bad. Like really bad. And I was like, oh God, here we go. So we had some time to go, and because of where I'm sitting at score-wise, I didn't have to go right away, so I started eating, water, Gatorade, salted drinks, electrolytes, everything I could to try to prevent cramping. I stretched it out. I did everything that I could have done. And it was probably a good half an hour because the apparatus actually kind of broke and I had to fix it. So that gave me even more time. But as soon as I went, immediately, calves started tightening up. So I'm throwing it like 80%. I'm trying not to really triple extend, which is not good in a sandbag toss. So I'm trying not to triple extend too hard because my calves are going to cramp. I know I have to get at least a few bags here to get something on the board. So I get the first 3 in 10 seconds. I get to the 4th bag, which is the 55, which I know I could throw over. I know I could get that over. Immediate, pretty rough cramp. I know I would have had it. That's what makes me so mad. But I fail it once. I think I go to do it again. I forget how many times I tried it, but I think it was 2 times. And I went to reset after the second one, and my left one absolutely locked up so bad. My buddy in the crowd and my family, you could see it cramping. You can see it on this video too if it's good enough quality. On the live stream, you could see my left calf cramping up. I thought I tore my calf because it just wouldn't stop. I was like, something is not right. It would hurt pretty bad, but it loosened up enough. Not gonna lie, I was pretty lucky that the last event was a pin hold. Because if it had been anything else loading wise, I think I would have been screwed completely. Because I did everything in my power to not use my calves at all on the pin hold. It was all quad, everything. So I had to be very careful. But I'm in 2nd place at this point. First place is uncatchable. It was his show to win. Everything he did was basically perfect. He won 3 events, took 3rd in 1. It didn't do that. It did like mid-pack in the last one, but it didn't matter. He already did well enough in the first 4. So in theory, I could beat him if he couldn't pick the pin and I win that event, but it wasn't going to happen. So it was face-to-face pinhold, which is cool. But I held it for 48 point something seconds. There were 2 guys at 49.7. So what, another 1.4, another 2 seconds, basically, we'll call it. I would have had 2 more points, and I would have kept 2nd place overall. The one guy won the pinhold, and he jumped me to get into 2nd place. He was pretty far back, too, I think, at one point. Like 6th place or something. And ended up coming back to get 2nd by 1 point. So such a close show all day long. But ended up with 3rd place, $500, and a feeling of being ready. I'm proud of myself because I kind of had that thing in my head where I'm like, all right, I didn't do a big prep for the show. I'm just kind of going in, and it worked out. So I'm cool with it. Oh, my wife's back. So I'm cool with it. So pause. We're back. Slight intermission. The dogs had to come say hello because she took them with her. But end of the show in 3rd place by a point. Could have been 2nd, but not much of a difference when it comes to 2nd or 3rd at these shows. I don't really care about those. I'd rather just win, but it wasn't my day that day. So now we have 7 weeks to ASM. 5 weeks of prep probably, because this week we're only doing 2 days. And then I have the rest week going into the show. So 5-ish weeks of prep. Not much time. But I like the challenge, so back-to-back challenges, actually. Short preps back-to-back. Of course, the Pro-Am was pretty close to regional events, but ASM, not really. So I'm kind of okay with that. I feel more confident now going into it, actually, than I would have if I had, not done a show on a short prep before. So I got nothing else to say. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.